want no peace like we want it now.
The Czech Prime Minister is coming to meet with President Bush today at the White House, and they're going to try and consolidate a deal to place a U.S. Radar station at a military base in the Czech Republic. And our friends in the Czech Republic are resisting this, and they've asked us to come and show that the U.S. is not a monolith, that there are people here who are opposed to this radar and the companion interceptor missile base that's being planned for Poland, and that's why we're here. The real reason for it, which I think pretty much is accepted, is to position themselves to break down the Russian deterrent against the U.S. Nuclear power. Now, in my opinion, neither U.S. nuclear power nor the Russian deterrent are a good idea. We have to get away from all that. We need to move towards disarmament rather than outflanking each other's deterrence. But in the meantime, that's the real reason for why the U.S. is doing this, and Polish and Czech leaders have both admitted this in talking to their own people, that they don't really accept the idea that it's an Iranian threat. The people in their countries don't believe it, and they've had to come out with the truth, which is that it's aimed at the Russians. In turn, the Russians have threatened to target Poland and Czechoslovakia if they accept these bases.
The Bush administration largely failed to convince Western European governments to buy into national missile defense. Of course, they've been participating in lower-level theater missile defense. But Eastern European countries, Poland and the Czech Republic, and there's evidence that, of course, Romania and other countries are interested because they want to be, closer allies with the United States. They want to be able to have access to some of the military goodies that the United States military and arms exporters provide. But those are the governments. The people, not so happy about missile defense, not so happy about the potential for the United States and Russia to enter into a new Cold War. They would find themselves in the middle of it, much as they were in the middle of it during the old Cold War.
Once it came out that the Czech government had been secretly negotiating with the U.S. government to place this radar base in the Czech Republic, they began to organize against it, and they had a very sympathetic population. The population, for all the reasons we were just talking about here, is worried about it, is skeptical about the claimed reasons, sees themselves as being subjected unnecessarily to risks of being involved in a nuclear standoff, as well as the environmental concerns. So they've been very effective, this Czech group called the No Bases Initiative. I can't pronounce it in Czech. But they've been very effective in forcing this to a major parliamentary issue, and it will have to be accepted, be voted on by the Czech parliament within the next few weeks probably, or at least certainly the next few months, by the end of the year and perhaps before then. So they've had demonstrations, they engage in debates in the press. They've of course been very happy about the work that we've been doing in this country and have seen that it's amplified and publicized there because it's a way of showing that the U.S. isn't just a monolithic thing in favor of this. And they've been very effective. 70% of the population now is, according to all the most recent polls, is opposed to this base. One of the chief things that the No Bases Initiative people are calling for is a referendum in the Czech Republic on this question. And the government has stood firm against allowing such a thing. So that's one of the many levels on which they're opposing this. The Congress has already reduced the funding available for this project of the Polish-Czech anti-missile project. And they did so on rather narrow grounds, technical grounds, saying that the technology hasn't been proven yet, and also more politically saying they didn't want to devote a whole lot of money to this unless they were sure that the Czech and Polish populations would acquiesce in their governments going forward with this, because then it would just be wasted money. So part of the reason why we're here today is to strengthen our friends in in these countries, and the other reason is to try and build pressure on Congress here not to fund this awful project. And we know that this is sort of what you might call, joke, under the radar system here. Most people aren't aware that it's even going on. Even people in the peace movement, for the most part, are unaware of this. Just dimly, there might be a little buzz somewhere that there's something going on. So it's the fact that Congress has already been reluctant to do this without much public pressure from here, I think means that some pressure will, and just heightened awareness will help to see that from our end the funding doesn't go forward.
Here, I'll carry it, hon.